Okay, sådan. Vi er tilbage. We're back. Velkommen tilbage. Welcome back. I dag skal vi rette nogle sætninger. Today we're gonna correct some sentences. Yes, of course, in real time. So that is just gonna be really good. I wrote some stuff and then I put some mistakes in there, and then we're gonna see how many of you can guess it, because I'm going to be watching the live chat right here on my phone, and we will see if you can guess it. Alright, so that is what we're gonna do today. I didn't write the translation here because most of these things and these sentences, they're not exactly very advanced, and if you keep staring at it, you should be able to translate on your own. That I would say, at least. So yeah, I guess there's nothing else to say, but let's get to it. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, I'll read this first paragraph and then we'll take a look. Min telefonen ringer. Jeg gider ikke tage den. Det er sikkert min chef. Han ringer altid mig om aftenen. Det er ikke okay. Jeg gider ikke tænke om arbejde, når har jeg fri. Det er mit princip. Hvis ikke min chef respekterer det, så kan han bare fyre mig. Det gør han nok ikke, for han har brug til mig. Okay, let's see here. Telefonen ringer. Oh, did it just jump out here? Give me a second. Oh, that was weird. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Alright. Telefonen ringer, jeg gider ikke tage den. Telefonen. Looks kind of wrong, doesn't it? Min telefonen. Can't really say that, can we? Min telefonen. You want to say min telefon, right? Min telefon. That is the one. Because telefonen is the phone. I cannot say my the phone. That's weird. Jeg gider ikke tage den. Okay, the one answer is pretty simple. Det er sikkert min chef. Yeah, it's fine. Det er sikkert min chef. Han ringer altid mig om aftenen. Yeah, something is kind of weird about that. Han ringer altid mig om aftenen. Maybe we are missing something like a preposition. Han ringer altid til mig. Right? To call someone is like call to them or ring to them, whatever. At ringe til. You gotta have that til in there. Han ringer altid til mig om aftenen. Det er ikke okay. Right? Jeg gider ikke tænke om arbejde. There's something weird about this. Tænke om arbejde. Now, what's wrong with that? Tænke om arbejde. I'm watching the live chat, but no one is saying anything. You can if you want. Anyway, the right answer is gider ikke tænke på arbejde. Right? Gider ikke tænke på. Thinking about something, like the thing occupying space in your attention, is på. Is more the thing you're thinking about the thing, or the thought you're having about the thing. Right? So therefore it's på. Når har jeg fri? That is not right. There is something wrong with that. Når har jeg fri? What are you gonna do? Når jeg har fri. Right? That's the one. Når jeg har fri. Because there is some of you, actually all of you, I can say safely, you're struggling with inversion. You're like, okay, when does the verb come before the subject? Well, when you have the conjunction in the middle here, når, when is a conjunction, of course, then you don't have inversion. Inversion would be if you had it in the beginning. Like, når jeg har fri, gider jeg ikke tænke på arbejde. But because you start with the jeg gider ikke tænke på arbejde, and you have the når conjunction in the middle, then you don't have inversion. Because I see a lot of people making this mistake. They try to put inversion, but then they actually do the opposite thing of what they're supposed to. It's simple enough. I've made a video about it. More than one. Alright. Det er mit princip. Okay, pretty straightforward. Hvis ikke min chef respekt det. Something weird about that. Hvis ikke min chef respekt det. You know what? If I can zoom in a little bit. Whoops. Technology. Ikke respekt det. Yeah, it's just like, it's a wrong word class. It's not respect, it's respektere. Whoops. Respektere. Because respect is respect as a concept. That's the noun. At respektere is to respect, the verb. And of course, this is the present tense, so there's an R after the E. Respektere, respect. Hvis ikke min chef respekterer det, så kan han bare fyre mig. Seems fine, yeah? Yeah. Okay, and I do see something in the live chat now. I guess in this case I'll respond in real time. Hein Myk is saying, hvis min chef ikke respekterer det. Yes, that's also correct. You can say that, or you can say what I said. That's fine. You can move the ikke around. The main thing is that we get the verb right. Okay. Så kan han bare fyre mig. Det gør han nok ikke, for han har brug til mig. Yeah, it reveals that there's a mistake here. Google is telling you that something is wrong. And sometimes Google is wrong, but in this case it's right. So, han har brug til mig, ikke he needs me. But it's not til, it is for. Right? Det gør han nok ikke, for han har brug for mig. He won't do it, he probably won't do it, because he needs me. Yeah, so in Danish we have many words for need. And there is har brug for, er nødt til, behøver, skal, har behov for, trænger til. That's just what I can remember at the top of my head. It's probably more. So this is a real pain in the ass for a lot of learners. But just remember that it's brug for. Ikke? Jeg har brug for. That's the right preposition. Okay, let's do the second part down here. Det er tid til slappe af. Måske skulle jeg se et film. Ja, det er en godt idé. Heldigvis er der rigtig mange at valg imellem. Skal jeg se en danske film? Eller måske en svensk filmen? Nej, jeg tror jeg tager en amerikansk film. Jeg er i humor til at se en amerikansk komediefilm. Så lange det ikke er en med Adam Sandler. Han er jeg ikke så stor fan af. I have like my face really close to the screen because I might autocorrect and give you the answer. And it would be kind of cheating. So I gotta read the mistakes, even if it hurts. Alright, so tid at slappe af. Something about relaxing. Slappe af. It's time to relax. Det er tid til slappe af. You want to say det er tid til at slappe af. Ikke? You gotta get that at in there. Why? Because you gotta have at before the infinitive. Ikke? In vast majority of cases. There are some cases where you don't need it. But generally speaking you do. Unless you have a modular verb before. Like vil slappe af or bør slappe af. But that's for another lesson. Så det er tid til at slappe af. It's time to relax. Okay, very nice. Måske skulle jeg se et film. Doesn't sound good, does it? There's a problem. Måske skulle jeg se et film. So it's about watching a movie, of course. Ikke? Now, what should we say? Måske skulle jeg se en film. Because it's en film. There's nothing else I can say about it. That's what it is. Yeah. Ja, det er en godt idé. This sounds weird. En godt. You can't say that, can you? Det er en godt idé. You cannot, of course, because the godt would be with it. Like et forslag, et sted, et hus, et værelse. So you can say godt with it, but you cannot say godt with en. So therefore, we remove the T, so it becomes god. Okay? Ja, det er en god idé. And that's that. Ja, det er en god idé. That's a good idea. So easy. Fairly easy. Heldigvis er der rigtig mange at valg imellem. Yeah, there's also something wrong here. We gotta fix it. Heldigvis, okay, so fortunately, er der rigtig mange at, okay, that's fine. Valg, okay, that's not quite right. What is the problem here? What do you guys think? Heldigvis er der rigtig mange at valg imellem. Well, the thing is, we gotta say vælge. What is the difference? Well, if we keep the V over here, just so you remember what the mistake is. Valg is choice, or election in politics. That is valg, but vælge is choose, the verb. So valg here is the noun, and vælge is the verb. So that's that, right? I see a lot of learners, like my students and other people in the comment sections and stuff like that, mixing up word classes. And I get it, you're learning, it's fine, but it is pretty important that you have the right word class, because otherwise it kind of sounds nonsensical. I can kind of see what you're trying to say anyway. But it is pretty important that you get that right. And don't worry, there's coming a video in the future where I really focus on that. Like, how can you tell if it's a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, or something else? Alright? For now, just take these little notes. Okay, then what? Skal jeg se en danske film? En danske film? Really? That can't be right. Something is wrong. En danske film. Skal jeg se en danske film? What we can do about it? So we can do, skal jeg se en dansk film? Because maybe you know it. It's it's en, so it's singular. And when you have en adjective, then you don't put any e. Then it's just the normal. It's en dansk, en god, en svensk, en. Yeah, you'll see that in a second. So don't put any e when you have en right before. Okay. Eller måske en svensk filmen. Eller måske en svensk filmen. Kind of hurts my ears to say that. En svensk filmen. Svensk is fine, that's just Swedish. Maybe a Swedish. Filmen. What does filmen mean? Filmen means the movie. So we're gonna change that and just say film movie, or maybe a Swedish movie. Yeah, it's kind of basic, but I do see learners struggling, so yeah, let's just take care of it. Nej, jeg tror jeg tager en amerikansk film. Nej, jeg tror jeg tager en amerikansk film. Yeah, there's no mistake. I just put it there. Alright. Jeg er i humor til at se en amerikansk komediefilm. Something wrong with this, but it's a little more subtle. You might not see it. Jeg er i humor til at se en amerikansk komediefilm. Amerikansk komediefilm. Yeah, that part is fine, but what about this humor? Guys, what does it mean, humor? It means... I'll drink a little bit while you think about it. Nah, humor means humor, as in sense of humor. But what we're saying here is I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to watch an American comedy film movie. So humor won't work. What is the Danish word for mood? It is similar, that's why I put this word here. And that similar word is humør. Alright? Humør. So humør is mood and humor is humor, sense of humor. That's that. Humør. Humør, humor, humør, humor. Alright, done deal. And then we got, så lange det ikke er en med Adam Sandler. Okay, så lange det ikke er en med Adam Sandler. So as long as it's not one with Adam Sandler. As long as, so anything but his movies. I hope he's not watching this this video. He's like trying to learn Danish. He's like, Thomas, what the hell? I watched your video. You hate me. Nah, anyway. But the problem is with this lange. Because lange, yeah, that means long. But that's the adjective. This is the adverb. And therefore you want to say så længe. Okay? As long as. Så længe det ikke er bla bla bla. Right? This is very important. And I'm stressing that because I see this mistake made so often. Really a lot. Like så lange, nej, længe. Right? Yeah. So please remember that. Så længe det ikke er en med Adam Sandler. Okay, let's leave the poor guy alone. Well, I think he's doing okay. Han er jeg ikke så stor fan af. Something is wrong about that. It's not a correct sentence. Han er jeg ikke så stor fan af. What we're gonna do? I mean, it's kind of basic. I'm not a big fan of him. The Danish word for him is nowhere to be found in this sentence. So, yeah, of course, it's like this. It's ham. Ham. And this is when Google is evil and kind of stupid, because it is ham. He's the object. I'm getting kind of pissed at a machine. But in all seriousness, it is ham because he's an object. Han would make him the subject, meaning he's doing something, but he's not doing anything. You're the one doing something, being a fan or not being a fan. Alright, very nice. Moving on. Okay, så nu har jeg fandt en film. Hvilke under tekster skal jeg vælge? Hvilket sprog kunne var interessant? Russisk. Men jeg kan ikke forstå det sprog, så jeg tror bare, at jeg vælger danske undertekster i stedet. Faktisk er jeg også lille sulten. Jeg har allerede spist aftensmad, men jeg er lidt af en sukkergris. Så jeg vil lige se, hvis der er noget kage i køleskabet. Okay, very good stuff. So, still about the movie, but also some other stuff. Okay, så nu har jeg fandt en film. So, he found a movie. So now I have found a movie. Something is weird. Let's look at the verb. Fandt. What is that? Fandt. What tense? Like, think about verb tenses. The thing about fandt is that it's the past tense. Right? But har jeg ikke, jeg har, if there's no inversion, would be I have. So we gotta have the other form. We gotta have fundet, which is have found or has found. Okay? So nu har jeg fundet. It's very important. I see people mixing them. They say jeg fundet or jeg har fandt. No. You gotta decide. There has to be agreement, as we call it in grammar. You cannot mix them. Så nu har jeg fundet en film. I found a movie. Okay. Hvilke undertekster skal jeg vælge? This is so weird. I almost can't say it. Undertekst skal jeg vælge. Maybe the mistake here is not a grammar mistake. It's more of a... it's a matter of this being one word. It's not under tekster. That would mean like under or below texts, whatever text. It's undertekster, subtitles. Which subtitles should I choose? Hvilke undertekster skal jeg vælge? It's like that. And yeah, that's important. And this is a little hint and little advice, because in Danish we have a lot of words that maybe in other languages would be two words. I know, not in this case. But there'll be other words where you're like, wow, that's one word? Yeah, that's one word. Like in Danish it is. So yeah, it's it means that we have a lot of long words, kind of like in German. I know you also have some really long words in German. Okay. Hvilket sprog kunne var interessant. And this one is so weird that I kind of fumbled before because it's just unimaginable that anybody would say this. Hvilket sprog var interessant? Which language could be interesting? So you can choose the language for your subtitles. Yeah, interessant is interesting. That's fine. No problem there. Hvilket sprog, which language? Okay, easy peasy. Could. So var is supposed to mean be. Kunne, like could be. But that is just wrong. As you probably already guessed, it's vær. Kunne vær. Which language could be interesting? Yeah, so that's pretty important. I see many learners making a mistake where they use var when they're supposed to use vær and vice versa. Yeah, it's not cool. So try to fix that. Kunne være interessant. Russisk. Okay, Russian, there's no mistake there. Men jeg kan ikke forstå det sprog. There's a comma, but let's pause here. Men jeg kan ikke forstå. Forstå. I mean, it's so weird, right? Because you have the can. You have can right here. And then you have forstå. So this is present tense. And this is also present tense. That's not right. We gotta fix that. Right? What are you gonna do about it? Well, it's pretty simple. I am going to take out the R. Because the first verb is the one that dominates. It's my own term I came up with. It's simple, easy to remember. The first one, can, is present tense. Could also be the past tense. The point is the second verb has to be infinitive. Right? Otherwise, it would be kind of like, in English you would say, like for a third person, he likes to eat. Or something. It's just like, what? It's just so weird. So you really gotta pay attention to this. The second one has to be infinitive. Alright. Så jeg tror bare, at jeg vælger dansker undertekster i stedet. Dansker? Well, we have one in the room right now. So I just think that I'm going to pick Danish subtitles instead. Dansker. Dansker means Danish as a Danish person, a Dane. Dansker. So you cannot say dansker undertekster. Well, actually, I can imagine a context where that would be okay, kind of like subtitles for Danish people, or maybe like made by a Danish person, but that would not be the language. I shouldn't distract you with that. That's for high level kind of thing. So we're cutting this R, okay? Så jeg tror bare, at jeg vælger danske undertekster i stedet. Okay, very nice. Alright. Faktisk er jeg også lille sulten. Faktisk er jeg også lille sulten. Actually, I'm a little hungry too. Yeah, so sulten is hungry. That's kind of basic. Faktisk er jeg også lille sulten. But what is the problem here? There's definitely something wrong with this sentence. And it's a pretty common mistake. I see students make it a lot. You don't want to say lille sulten. You want to say lidt sulten. Right? Lidt. Now, the problem here is that lille means little, small, tiny. And lidt is, getting ahead of myself. And then you're thinking, oh, I'm a little hungry. And so lille, little. But that's not how we do it. We say lidt because it's like a little bit. It's not the size. You could say, jeg har en lille sult, eller min sult er lille, my hunger is small. It's weird, but you could say it. But you cannot say, jeg er lille sulten. It doesn't work. Alright. So be careful. Don't be careful. But pay attention. Jeg har allerede spist aftensmad, so I have already eaten dinner. Jeg har allerede spist aftensmad. But what's wrong with that? Definitely something wrong with it. What we gotta do about it? Jeg har allerede spist. Right? It's kind of what I said before. We don't want to mix the tenses here. And so spiste would be the past. Jeg spiste, I ate. Cool. But this is I have eaten. And that's the present perfect, also past participle. Så Jeg har allerede spist. And that's how it is. A lot of the time, almost all the time, as far as I can remember, and I'm a teacher, the present perfect ends with a T. Right? You can assume that that is the general way that we do it. So if you see an E, probably the past. Okay, or infinitive. Men jeg er lidt af en sukkergris. Okay, I'm a, yeah, just a little side note, sukkergris. It's sukkergris is colloquial. It literally means sugar pig, sugar mouth, whatever. You're crazy about sweets. You eat too many sweets and stuff like that. Sukkergris. Sugar pig. So yeah, that's gula babi in another language. Alright. Så jeg vil lige se, hvis der er noget i køleskabet. So I'm just gonna see, check if there is something, if there is some cake in the fridge. Okay, cake, that is nice, very Danish, but there's a problem with this sentence. Så jeg vil lige se, hvis... I think a lot of you would have a hard time with this. Like if you had to write homework, you would make this mistake too. Because this is one of the most common mistakes. Så jeg vil lige se, om der er noget kage i køleskabet. Alright, so what's the deal here? The thing is that if you're talking about weather, like whether or not, kadoka in Japanese, like whether or not something is the case, he doesn't know if there's cake, he's going to check it out. Then we say And you're thinking, oh, but Thomas, isn't it this? This is if. Yes, this is if it's a direct conditional, like what I just said. Hvis den er direkte, if it's direct. Like, hvis solen skinner, går jeg ud. If it's sunny, I go out. Or, hvis du er træt, så gå i seng. If you're tired, go to bed. Like a direct relationship between two things. That's when you use this. But if it's about something being the case or not, then we use Or could be, jeg ved ikke om det er rigtigt. I don't know if it's true. I don't know whether if it's true. A nice way to remember it, that's easy, is if you can say whether in English, you have to say in Danish. I know in English you have flexibility, you can say if or whether, but if you can say whether in English, you have to say in Danish. So that's that. Right? Alright, let's talk more about the cake. Jeg købte et chokoladekage i går, så måske... Gotta make sure I read it incorrectly. Jeg købte et chokoladekage i går, så måske er der lidt tilbage. Livet er god, når man spiser kage. Måske skulle jeg også tage et glas af mælk. Faktisk er jeg også lidt tørstig. Chokoladekage, mælk og en god komediefilm. Det er det perfekte aften. Jeg glemte helt at fortælle, at jeg også har en kat. Alright, let's see. The plot thickens. Jeg købte et chokoladekage i går. It hurts to say, and you gotta show respect to the cake. So, et chokoladekage. So he said he bought a chocolate cake yesterday. You gotta think about that. Like, there's something wrong with this. Jeg købte en chokoladekage, because it's en kage, so it doesn't change just because there's chocolate. Jeg købte en chokoladekage i går, så måske er der lidt tilbage, maybe there's a bit left. Okay, cool, done deal. Livet er god. Livet er god, that can't be right. Let's look at livet. Livet is a noun. I don't want to say too much now, because then I'll spoil it, but think about it. Livet er god. Doesn't something look off? Doesn't it look like you want to fix that? Since livet is et, livet, if you want to say it very slowly in dictionary style, then it must be et liv. Et liv er, and livet er, you can't say go, you gotta say godt. Livet er godt. Et godt liv. Mit liv er godt. Livet er godt. And that's an indicator. If you see the noun ending in et here, because it's the life, then you gotta put a t to the adjective. So that's that. Når man spiser kage, okay, that's cool. Måske skulle jeg også tage et glas af mælk. Okay, maybe I should also take a glass of milk. This one will probably go unnoticed by a lot of you, but it is significant. Måske skulle jeg også tage et glas af mælk. So a glass of milk or cup, whatever, but in this case I put glass. A glass of milk. Something is wrong here. It's not right. Glass of milk. Yeah. So here's the thing. There is no a. What? The deal is, in Danish, we don't say it like you do in English, like a slice of bread, a cup of coffee, or glass of beer, these types of things, a piece of cake. We would say the thing, like the unit, and then the thing we're consuming. Et glas mælk, en skive brød, et glas vin, et stykke kage. Right? So this whole logic with of in the middle, it's not there. Like just throw it out. Right? We don't say it. Et glas milk. Don't say et glas of milk. I see so many people using it correctly there, like putting a when it doesn't belong there. And yeah, that's wrong. Don't do that. Faktisk jeg også lidt tørstig. Yeah, so this is hard to say. This incorrect way is really off. So let's fix it. Faktisk jeg også lidt tørstig. Of course, the mistake is that it's også. Right? Actually, I'm a little thirsty as well. So også means to as well. Also, probably know that already. But if you say også, it changes the meaning. It becomes and then, right? Or in some cases and so, but usually and then. So you can use it in many other contexts, but not here. It would be very weird. Så chokoladekage, mælk og en god komediefilm. Okay, let's see. Chokoladekage, mælk og en god komediefilm. It's fine, no mistake. Det er det perfekte aften. Det er det perfekte aften. That can't be right. Det perfekte aften? Nah, come on, man. We can do better than this. Det er den perfekte aften. Ikke? And why is it den? Why not det? because it's en aften. Ikke? That's all it is. It's en aften. Therefore, it's den. I mean, it's so basic. I can't spell it out any further. Det er den perfekte aften. And I'm adding the E here to the adjective perfect because it's den. Right? You have to do that when you have den or det before. But if it's en or it, then you don't add an E. I'll talk more about that some other time in details. Jeg glemte helt at fortælle, at jeg også har en kat. Okay, what is this? So I completely forgot to tell you, or to tell, that I also have a cat. And I do have a cat. He's in Denmark. I miss him. Anyway, so what's the mistake here? What is the problem with this sentence? Jeg glemte helt at, at fortælle. Why? Well, fortæl, the original here, would be tell in the imperative, also known as the command form. If I tell you to tell me something, I know that sounds funny, then it would be like, fortæl mig det, tell me, because that's a command. Yeah, maybe it's soft, it's at least a request, but it's a direct command. It's direct telling you what to do. But that's not what we need here. We need the infinitive. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell. Jeg glemte helt at fortælle. So therefore, fortælle. Yeah. So the guy has a cat. Very nice. Okay, so this is the last part. It splits on 2 pages, but I'll just move it down here. I make the rules. So let's see. Den kigger mig og siger, giv mig nogen chokolade, men jeg siger, nej, du får ikke noget. It's actually unintentional mistake. Du får ikke noget. Det gør min kat lidt sur, så han laver en mærkeligt lyd og river mig at udtrykke sin frustration. Det gør ondt, men jeg forgiver ham. Det gør jeg, fordi jeg kærlighed ham. Jeg har et stort hjerte, og det er omgivet og det er omgivet af mættede fedtsyrer. Nå, nu filmen starter. Vi ses senere. Alright, so what we gotta do here. Some of these are really weird. It's kind of fun. Oops. Den kigger mig. Okay, so the cat is looking at me. Kigge is look, sure, but there's a preposition missing. What would you say, like, to look at? Like, what would be your guess? I'm looking at you, looking at whatever, the phone, computer. Kigger på. Ikke? Den kigger på mig. That's pretty important. And actually, I've talked about this before. If you don't know, if you haven't watched it, there is a video where I talk in great detail about the many different uses of på. Same with i and for, until, er, om, ved. All those are already covered. Den kigger på mig. It's looking at me. Og siger, okay, what does it say? Giv mig nogen chokolade. Something is wrong with that. That ain't right. So he's supposed to say, give me some chocolate. Now, chocolate, is that countable? Well, it could be, right? But it doesn't seem like it here. Not the way it was introduced, and especially since it's not little pieces of chocolate, but it's like in the cake or on the cake. So it cannot be, it's not chocolates like that. Therefore, it must be giv mig noget chokolade. You confused? Let's try to prevent or stop that. If it's something that cannot be counted, then you use noget, noget, but we don't see the T normally when we pronounce it. So giv mig noget chokolade. That's the thing. No one would be for countable. Another day I will get into the whole thing with nogen and nogle. That's even trickier. But as far as noget goes, this one N-O-G-E-T and nogen N-O-G-E-N, it's pretty easy, because noget is what you use for things you can't count. So chokolade, tid, time, opmærksomhed, tension, and guld, gold, at the top of my head. You get the point. Let's move on. Men jeg siger, what I say, nej, du får ikke noget. Men jeg siger, nej, du får ikke noget. Well, that is correct. Nothing to say. Det gør min kat lidt sur, så han laver en mærkeligt lyd. Det gør min kat lidt sur. It makes him a little mad. Sur. Så han laver en mærkeligt lyd. So, supposed to be strange or weird sound. But mærkeligt, there's something wrong with this. Shouldn't quite, no, we gotta fix this. Not mærkeligt, but mærkelig, because I think you know it. Kind of talked about this point already, because it's en lyd. Right? Så han laver en mærkelig lyd. Of course, from your perspective, if you don't know it, you might think, well, Thomas, the mistake is to say it mærkeligt lyd. But it happens to be en lyd, so we fix it like this. Okay, so he's making this strange sound. Og river mig. Rive is scratch. River mig. Udtrykke sin frustration. So he's scratching me to express his frustration. Udtrykke is express. Okay, scratching me, I'm so frustrated. But something is missing here. So he's doing it to express. In order to express. That's the purpose. That's why he's doing it. But we gotta have river mig for at udtrykke. Nej? Og river mig for at udtrykke sin frustration. And I see this mistake a lot. A lot of learners, regardless of nationality, they forget to put the for, right? Because you might be thinking, oh, like I'm doing it to do this thing. Like, I'm singing to impress you, or I'm dancing to make my daughter laugh, whatever, right? So you're thinking that at is sufficient, but it's not. You gotta have the for in there. You gotta add the for if you want to say to, as in order to, right? All right. So frustration is being expressed. Det gør ondt, men jeg forgiver ham. Supposed to mean it hurts, but I forgive him. So you look at forgiver. And I forgot to say ignore this mistake. So you already see that's the mistake. Forgiver. That is definitely not the right word. That is not how we say forgive in Danish. I forgive you. Forgiveness. You know what the word is? Men jeg forgiver ham. That is definitely not it. It is, it's not forgiver. Google got that wrong too. Jeg tilgiver ham. At tilgive, to forgive. Right? Forgiver actually means basically to poison in a way that could kill them. Right? So yeah, be careful with that. Really don't say, okay, jeg forgiver dig. That's, yeah. Okay, let's teach us humor. It's when this is your job, you find humor in these ridiculous small things. So, tilgiver, ikke? Forgive. Men jeg tilgiver ham. I forgive him. Very nice. Det gør jeg, fordi jeg kærlighed ham. I do that because I love him. Okay, det gør jeg. I do that. Yeah, okay. Fordi, because, nice. But kærlighed? Kærlighed means love. But that's love as a concept. Kærlighed er det vigtigste i verden, most important thing in the world, blah blah blah. Kærlighed. But that's not the verb. You gotta have the verb. A lot of this is about word classes. The verb for love, I hope you know it, at least if you live in Denmark, you gotta know this. Fordi jeg elsker. Just like, jeg elsker dig, I love you. Så, fordi jeg elsker ham. Because I love him. That's that. Jeg har et stort hjerte. Jeg har et stort hjerte. Jeg har et stort hjerte. I have a big heart. No mistake, just perfect. Og det er omgivet af mættede fedtsyre. Og det er omgivet af mættede fedtsyre, and it's surrounded by saturated fatty acids. Literally. Right? There's no mistake. I just added this because I thought it's hilarious. He's sitting there with the chocolate cake, like, God damn, and then just, yeah. All right. Anyway, that's useful if you're into like nutrition and stuff. There's something left here. Nå, nu filmen starter. Vi ses senere. Well, the movie is starting now. See you later. Okay, so the movie is starting. Okay, all the words are here. The words are not missing, but there's something with the order. Something here is not quite right. We have no, and no is an adverb. Like now has something to do with time. So therefore we gotta say no starter filmen. Alright? No starter filmen. You have inversion when you start with something that is related to time or location. Okay? No starter filmen. That's how it is. No starter filmen. This is a mistake that many learners make. I know that inversion is one of the hardest things in the Danish language, but that is also why I talk about it so often. So there is plenty of materials if you feel like you don't get it. I made a 45-minute video just about that. Okay, so that was it. That was it, guys. This was really fun. I've been thinking about it for a while. It's been quite some time since I've corrected mistakes, and especially on this scale. So yeah, it was nice, and I know you benefited tremendously from this. Yeah, is there anything else to say? Oh yeah, there's a little bonus. If you are a gold or diamond member on the website, then you get access to these documents, starting with this one, okay? I cannot promise the past ones, but the future documents that I use in these videos, making sentences in real time, will be available to gold and diamond members on the website. So, something to think about. And yeah, the website is the place. You already know it. Do I really have to talk about it in every video? Maybe I do. But that is where you have the videos, almost 500, no ads, just watch videos and use the bonus materials. A lot of bonus materials. So yeah, check that out. I encourage you to do so. Also because there's a winter discount, and the winter discount is 30% off, but that ends in, well, let's do the math, 10 days or so. So yeah, check it out, and don't complain to me if you don't make the discount. You know what, let's take a look here in the live chat. Some of it I already commented on. Hein Myg said har, hvis min chef ikke respekterer det. Also guest har fundet. Yeah, that's correct. And Andreas Butker saying elsker ham. Also saying næsten umuligt at læse og skrive sammen på min mobil. Ja, samtidig, ikke? Simultaneously at the same time. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard if you're like writing on your phone and then it ain't easy. Yeah, but like I said, this was fun. I'll probably make more videos like this. I feel like you benefit a lot when you do this. It's a little more organic than slides, because when I make slides, I have to make it all beforehand and I can't really edit it. So if I spot a mistake, or if I want to improvise, or if I get an idea in the middle of the live stream, I can't do shit, but I can with these. So it's just wonderful. All right. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll be back soon. Peace.